Florida, a treasure trove of golf, especially in the Orlando area. And we found a very interesting assortment of courses for you on this trip. Like Hunters Creek, wide open, not many battles with the trees, although you might find some water. And for the young guns, this course stretches to more than 7,300 yards from the tips. Another course from the same era, late 80s, MetroWest. Amazing elevation changes designed by the master, Robert Trent Jones. And finally, one of the oldest in the area, Rio Pinar, dating back to 1957, home of the PGA Tour's Citrus Open, tree-lined, stately golf course, and its trademark, these stone bridges across the many creeks. You're gonna like golf in the Orlando area. We're in the Coca-Cola Eye. We're gonna give you a much closer view of one of the finest accommodations, the Wyndham Orlando Resort, and all of the other attractions on this episode of The Traveling Golfer from the heart of Orlando.
This lager comes from a place that's been brewing beer for longer than anyone else in America, where men and women have crafted amber gold in the caves below since before refrigeration. It comes from Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, and brings with it all the know-how that doing a thing well for nearly 200 years affords. Yuengling Traditional Lager. Respect. It's earned.
It's quite a golf operation at Hunters Creek. We have the golf operations manager, Adam Andrews, all the way from Manchester, England.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Traveling Golfer.
Thank you very much.
It's good to be here at a golf course that I'm going to say a smasher's golf course, using a British term.
It is indeed.
7,300 yards from the back tees, amazing. And of course, you had some qualifying USGA events here.
Yes, sir.
So it really is a golf course that you can let it all out, and you don't have to worry about the trees. There are very few.
Yeah, very little trees. Plenty of water. It's not all in play, but it's definitely there.
And that really brightens up the views on a lot of the holes. And they're sort of accentuated because the tees are stepped. So as you go back, the view gets better and better and better. Tell us a little bit about the golf course itself, how people should approach it when they come to play at Hunters Creek.
Hunters Creek Golf Club, it's greatly located just 20 minutes from the airport. We have a variety of teeing ground, all the way from 6,000 yards for the gentlemen at the front, that stretches all the way to just under 7,500 yards. And then we also have 5,600 yards for the ladies at the front and the junior golfers as well. The golf course itself has a variety of straight dog legs, both left and right, and it's just a great course to play.
Nice green complexes also, and you do have a modern grass on there. Tiff Eagle is a good hybrid Bermuda that rolls like a bent grass and really
Correct.
does a nice job on these greens. Now the layout gets compliments many times, but I'm going to guess that you also get complimented on the affordability of Hunters Creek.
That's correct.
Prices during the high season?
They start as low as $40 midweek and just up to $50 on a weekend, and then twilight golf's as low as $20 a round.
Can't beat it. Hunters Creek, great golf, great price. MetroWest, designed by Robert Trent Jones, the master himself. It's been in the Orlando area since 1987. We have golf operations manager George Arteta. Thanks for having us out to MetroWest. I have a long history going back to the early days of MetroWest, being able to come back many times on my visits to Orlando, and I enjoy every single time because I think the old man did a pretty good job on this piece of property.
He did a fantastic job. It's a course for everybody, Tony. Whether you're a beginner or you're a tour pro, it's a fantastic course, and it's available for all sorts of events, and so it's really, really fantastic place to be.
Dominating features these big lakes that were created here, and And with some surprising roll to the property too, and that's nice.
Exactly, a lot of undulations here. Robert Trent Jones is famous for that, and you'll see them here along with the 70+ bunkers that we have here. You'll love it here.
Yeah. Now it tips out at almost 7,100 yards, and I know that you had some U.S. Open qualifiers here over the years, so people know that it's a big boys course for when they want to, but with the forward tees you can actually get around the course, and the good thing is usually you can find your ball whenever you hit it anywhere, well, except for the water.
Very true, Tony. Tee it up and let it fly here. It's an open course, very kind of resortish type of course feel. Swing away and let it go, and you will find your ball, like you said.
Speaking of tee it up and let it fly, you had the king of tee it up, let it fly here one time, John Daly, and he took a pretty historic swing here.
He did. A few years ago, he was right here on number 9 right behind us. About 400 yards with the wind behind him, he got to the green.
You mentioned the undulating greens, and Robert Trent Jones likes to torture a little bit with those kind of features on a golf course. That causes a problem with putting, but it also causes a problem with the approach shot because you can hit it right near the pin and wind up far away.
You could, and so be careful, Tony, when you kind of make these approach shots. Kind of figure out where that flag is and kind of understand where the flat points are on the green and go for that.
But I think there are some other features out here that are pretty interesting, especially on some of the par 3s.
Some of the par 3s do have the water, and then you do have the majestic oaks here too. It makes for great scenery, but yeah, the par 3s are memorable if you can get across the water.
Tree management, you see these majestic oaks, you see all of them because they're not crowded in one after the other after the other. You let the people see the entire magnificence of these trees, and that's a good thing.
It's a fantastic thing, and it makes for a memorable experience is what we're hoping for. A good bang for the buck when the golfer comes here and our guests come here, and we hope that they truly do enjoy the course, as it was meant to be.
And just like everything on this particular episode of The Traveling Golfer, it's right in the middle of all of the action in Orlando.
Today we have our new Hot Launch 2 offset driver. It's a real slice buster. You're going to hit the ball straight with a nice baby draw. David Glod, president and founder of Tour Edge Golf.
The offset driver features a deeper face design for better forgiveness from all over the face. The offset hosel is twice as offset as the original Hot Launch driver for double slice fighting protection. The deeper center of gravity and the rear sole weight really moves the weight away from the face, making it really easy to launch this driver far and straight.
History. That is the key word at Rio Pinar. History of a golf course that goes back to 1957. Redesigned by Lloyd Clifton in the 90s. But then history going back to the Florida Citrus Open, a PGA Tour event that has some of the greatest names in golf. We got the greatest name at Rio Pinar right now, and with Integrity Golf, the company that manages this course and a number of others. Chris Sainsbury. Chris, welcome to The Traveling Golfer, and thanks for having us at this history-steeped golf course.
I appreciate having you guys out. Looking forward to sharing some of the knowledge and some of the history of this place.
Yeah. These names are just iconic. Lionel Hebert, Julius Boros, one of the great people, and of course 1971, Arnold Palmer winning right here at Rio Pinar. How much of that history is carried through? I see it everywhere we go, Pro Shop, the plaques.
One of our main focuses when we acquired the club was to really bring the history back to the golf club as we transition from a private golf club into a semi-private facility. You know, we really want to make sure that those people that are coming out and playing us for daily fee prices, that they understand the grounds that they're walking on, the putts that they're hitting, the tee boxes that they're standing on. Some of the greats of the game have walked these same fairways as today's golfers are playing it.
If anybody has any doubts about the quality pedigree of this golf course, the ability to have a PGA Tour event, go no farther than the scorecard from the back tees. 7,001 yards.
We can definitely stretch it out if we need to, and from 7,000 yards, it's a tough challenge. Very tight fairways. It definitely tests the best players.
Yeah. Of course, the redesign changed the look a little bit, modernized it. Basically a tree-lined golf course all the way through. Not a lot of elevation change on the property either.
No real elevation change. Pretty typical Florida golf course in that regard. But definitely tree lined. You've got to be straight here. Once you get tangled up in those trees, you can lose a lot of shots very quickly.
Without elevation change, I'm sure there's not a lot of blind shots. If any, it would be created by a dog leg maybe with the trees.
A couple of dog legs that go both left and right. Some of the bigger hitters can certainly cut corners. But for us average golfers, you know, we definitely have to kind of play to our strengths. Small greens, it definitely tests the best players.
Yeah. You mentioned the greens are small, but you do have one of the more modern grasses, Champion Ultra Dwarf, on them.
Absolutely, yeah. It certainly is one of the strengths of the golf course. We get a lot of rave reviews in regards to our greens. Different kind of tiers, so we're able to create some unique pin placements where you have to be pretty precise with your approach shots in order to get the ball on the right tier.
As you said, it's semi-private, so people from all over can come and play here. There is a membership quotient, and of course they use this large clubhouse, but the fact that people can come from all over the country and not only just play this golf course, but be part of this history, that makes it a lot more fun.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a very cool thing. We really try to promote the history of this, because a lot of golf courses in Florida and Orlando, they just don't have the history. You know, to be able to say that Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Gary Player have walked the fairways is really something special and unique to Rio Pinar.
And can't forget this, the last 4 years after the tournament was taken from here to Bay Hill, the LPGA played here.
It's great that they were able to continue that tradition on once the PGA moved over to Bay Hill, that the LPGA came in and continued the tradition of the Citrus Open.
People talk about some of the holes that are memorable when they do play here. Most of them happen to be on that back nine that really is the strength of the golf course. Talk about some of them.
Absolutely, yeah. And to kind of backtrack a little bit on that, it's funny because for years the routing of the golf course was actually the other way around. When we got here in 2013, one of our goals was we wanted to change the routing back to the original Citrus Open routing. So that way then the back nine is a little bit more memorable as some of the holes. 12, the signature par 3, the most visually appealing hole on the golf course and probably our most photographed as well.
Really? I also know that a lot of people say they like to take pictures of number 18 coming up with the clubhouse in the background.
You can imagine Arnold Palmer standing in the fairway, hitting his approach shot in as he was going on to win the tournament in 1971.
All the history and all the challenge of Rio Pinar. The Wyndham Orlando Resort, right in the middle of all the action on International Drive. This hotel looks so new, but it's not.
The resort has actually been here at the corner of International Drive and Sand Lake Road for many years. However, I'm pleased to say recently we just completed a multi-million-dollar complete renovation of the hotel and redevelopment of the surrounding area. We have 613 guest rooms here. Every one of those rooms was completely renovated with new furnishings, fixtures, and decor package. And we have 9 suites, 4 executive suites and 5 junior executive suites. And all of those were completely done with new furnishings as well. As a matter of fact, we're sitting in one of our beautiful junior executive suites right now. We are a true Florida resort. We're set on 22 acres, campus style. All of our buildings are 2-story. You get to walk around through winding lagoons and a real park-like setting. It's a wonderful experience to walk around and enjoy the grounds. As part of the overall renovation of the resort was our fitness center. Now, our fitness center, of course, has all the modern equipment that you would expect, but we go beyond that with full locker rooms for men and women, and each locker room has its own sauna and steam room. Here at the property, we have the Eye Bar, which is our lobby bar. We also have Gatorville, which is our breakfast, lunch, and dinner restaurant with craft beers as well. And then we have Cooper's Hawk Winery, which is open for lunch and dinner, make their own wines, excellent wine pairing education classes that they have there, and wine tastings every day. We know that the golfers like to get out early, and there's really two fast choices for breakfast. Gatorville, of course, is our full-service breakfast restaurant, and we offer a full breakfast buffet every day. But we also have grab and go at our Starbucks right at the Eye Bar in our lobby. So golfers can grab a cup of coffee, a quick breakfast sandwich, and out the door to the golf course. You know, we have some great food and beverage outlets here at the resort, but what we like our guests to do is to go out and enjoy the walkable neighborhood where we have 50 shops, restaurants, dining, entertainment, bowling alley, King's Bowling Alley, Mango's Tropical Cafe right across the street from us.
We're on International Drive. They call it International because of all the people who come here from all over the world, and also the many restaurants that serve all of the international flavors. Don't forget the entertainment, plenty to keep you busy after dinner right here on the International Drive. There are the family attractions like that Ferris wheel that absolutely dominates the skyline.
We are so proud of our relationship with the Coca-Cola Orlando Eye, the iconic centerpiece of iDrive 360, the 400-foot observation wheel. Each cabin can accommodate more than 10 people, and the ride takes about 22 minutes. So your group can get into one of the capsules with an adult beverage if you choose, and get a view of Orlando 400 feet above everything else in the area. And at nighttime, if you time it right, you can see the fireworks show at some of the theme parks in the area. For those of you that would prefer to stay at ground level, there's plenty to do on the grounds of iDrive 360, including Madame Tussauds Wax Museum and the Sea Life Aquarium, both excellent entertainment venues. When you check into our hotel, you're likely to see one of the celebrities, or at least their resemblance, from Madame Tussauds Wax Museum right in our lobby. Make sure to get a selfie to send home with that one.
Well, that's so much within walking distance. If you want to go a little further,
depending on how far you'd like to explore, we have the iRide trolley that runs up and down International Drive. It'll take you from one end to the other, shopping and dining, nightclubs, retail shopping, anything you might want, you can find on International Drive. We have complimentary shuttles to both SeaWorld and Universal Orlando Resort. So guests of our resort don't have to drive their car if they want to go to some of the major theme parks.
with all the great golf and accommodations and attractions in the Orlando area, now we're going to tell you how to get here. We've got Gary Shea. He is Regional Manager for Golf and Gamble, a packaging company that brings you to great locations around the country and now to Orlando.
One of the things that Golf and Gamble has been able to do over the years is sort of provide the venue where not only is it about the golf, but it's also about the nightlife, as far as staying at casinos and having something to do at night as well. And look, there's probably a good chunk of people involved in golf and taking golf trips that are fine with just, you know, staying at a resort, not doing anything, staying at a cheap hotel, eating at the bar there or something like that. That's not our people. Our people want something to do at night as well. Now,
and they want to be able to do it safely.
You know, you got the golf right there, but then you're driving all over the place looking for something to do at night. Where do I pick up some food? That kind of thing. And that's when the trouble can start.
Right.
So if you want to try to have a little fun. So what we're saying is let's reverse that process. Drive to the golf courses, but here, where we are, we're in the middle of everything. Restaurants, dinner theaters. Hey, there's a Wawa on the premises and it sells beer. And considering every room in the hotel comes with a small refrigerator, that can come in very handy.
You know, you really make such a good point, Gary. This inverse golf trip is a better, safer way to go. There are some guys who are going to go on a golf trip, play golf, they go back to the room and they pass out. They can go do that anywhere. But for those that want to make a full day out of it, and evening, this is really the way to go. The nightlife right here on International Drive is incredible.
But what is interesting about this particular resort is this is one of the older facilities in the area, though you wouldn't tell but looking at it with all the renovations and work they've done. They're the villa style, the two-story villa style that's spread out across right from International Drive all the way over to Universal Drive, which gives you these beautiful grounds here with our favorite bar, the Gatorville Bar back there behind us, or Gatorville Restaurant, which is kind of the center of all the activity by the pool. It's a lot different than the high-rises. All the high-rises that are in this area that have no grounds. There's nothing to do unless you stay in the hotel.
And I hate waiting for elevators. So bottom line to all of this, Gary, is?
Well, drive to the golf, walk to the fun. Stay out of trouble.
And the best way to do that is your website?
Well, visit us at WyndhamOrlandoGolf.com or to give me a call at 877-946-5318.
We've been telling the tale about how the Wyndham Orlando Resort and our friends at Golf and Gamble are bridging the gap for the golfers who want to come to the greater Orlando area and all the wonderful golf that exists here. The motto for this trip, drive to the golf, walk to the fun. We hope you enjoyed this trip to Orlando on another episode of The Traveling Golfer as we take you to the greatest places to play golf across the country and around the world.
Tony Leodora's golf wardrobe, courtesy of Antigua, the leader in modern golf apparel. Tour Edge is the official equipment sponsor of The Traveling Golfer.